Musso at the box. Smash the like button. Get subscribed. Follow on social media. Subscribe on the podcast app and on your YouTube channel. That's greatly appreciated. We're presented by Gotlet Light Installers. LSU got run ruled tonight in the midweek by Northwestern State. Huh? Yeah, that's great, isn't it? You know, I could sit here and I could blow a gasket and I could curse and I could yell and I could be all upset over that performance, and I'd be well within my right. Believe me, there's plenty to be upset about and yell and curse and blow a gasket about, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because you have a lot of baseball ahead of you, and if you go take care of business, you'll be fine after that. It won't impact your postseason at all. Now, if you want to have a conversation of if LSU can go take care of business, that's a fair conversation, and I'm absolutely all for having that conversation. If you want to talk about the lineup, we can have that conversation, and that's not going to go where you think it'll go either. But here's the deal. After that rain delay, LSU looked like a team that wanted to be anywhere else but Alex Box Stadium. Anywhere else. You could see it. It's, oh, here we go again. It's going to be another late finish. All that. They had no energy. None after that rain delay. And then at that point, it was Murphy's Law. Anything that could go wrong would go wrong. And it did. You committed 3 errors after the rain delay. All but one. All but one of the 8 free passes you issued came after the rain delay. All 13 runs scored after the rain delay. They didn't do anything right after the rain delay. Nothing. You committed 3 errors. So, it's not that they lost. It's not that they got run ruled. I'm much more interested in the performance from LSU tonight, and the performance was not good. And the performance showed carryover from certain trends that you've been seeing. Like if you want me to get angry about something, if I see another punch out with a runner at third base and less than 2 outs, I'm going to pop a freaking blood vessel. I'm going to yell so much. That is inexcusable. In that moment, in that game, when Josh Pearson in the 5th inning? It was the 5th inning. After you left the bases loaded in the 4th. When he punched out with a runner at third base in less than 2 outs, I was reminded of something that Jay Johnson said all the way back at his introductory press conference in 2021. At that press conference, Jay Johnson said, "There will never be a time where our hitters go up to the plate and aren't aware of the plan in place." And I fully believe every LSU hitter that goes up there is aware of the plan that's in place. Right now, and really for the better part of 2.5 weeks, they don't have the ability to execute that plan. And when that's the case offensively, with the inconsistency that you have on this pitching staff, it's not to say this pitching staff can't get the job done. Sure, they can. They've proven that throughout the season. At times, they can, but they are inconsistent. And you saw that in droves tonight. And when you have that, your offense cannot have the moments and the struggles that they have had. LSU is not playing good baseball right now. I can't say that any more clearly. They aren't. They're playing bad baseball. Yeah, you beat Alabama 2 out of 3. That's awesome. You had a stretch of 10 good innings in that series that won you 2 baseball games. Outside of that, the other 17, you weren't very good. And for all 7 tonight, I don't want to say all 7. After the rain delay, you weren't very good. So this team has soul searching to do. And they have 2 days to do it. Because you have a baseball team that is coming in here for 3 games this weekend that is better than you. I will not budge on that. It does not mean LSU can't win the series. Of course they can. It's baseball. But I firmly believe and have all season that Tennessee is better than LSU. So they need to do some soul searching and figure this out. Because there's too much on the line starting this weekend and over the next 3 for LSU to be playing their worst baseball of the season. And that is what they're doing right now. And that's not really a debatable fact. That's not really an arguable fact, like an arguable point. Now, that being said, LSU, from a standpoint of what does this actually mean for them loss-wise, it just doesn't. Like I said, I'm not really worried about the loss. I'm more worried about the performance and how it looked. 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. That's what this has been for this team for the better part of 2.5 weeks now. They are trying to do too much. I'll give you another example. In that 4th inning with Danny Dickinson at the plate, and he grounds out with the bases loaded, but you could see throughout that at bat, they were throwing that little breaker over the outside corner, and he kept trying to pull it, but he's trying to do too much in that spot. Earlier in the year, LSU is staying back on that and driving it the other way, hitting it where it's pitched and driving in runs right there. They are very much aware that they are not executing at the level that they are capable of, and they are pressing at the plate. That's why I went back to Jay Johnson's introductory press conference where it said, there'll never be a moment where they're not aware of the plan at the plate. And LSU is very much aware of their plan. They don't have the ability to execute that plan. They don't have the confidence to execute that plan right now. And they have to. Now, what I will say is, I would have loved to have seen that game play out without the rain delay. I'm not saying LSU wins it. LSU still very well might have lost that baseball game tonight, even without the delay. But man, Jaden Newt was pitching pretty well, and I'd have loved to have seen him get a chance to get out of that 3rd inning. And if he does, that takes 6 runs potentially off the board. So the games this weekend are very important, but the next 2 days are the most important days of LSU's season up to this point because they have soul searching to do, and they have to figure this out. Because it's about to get late early, starting on Friday. So, we'll see. Let's talk about the lineup changes. I thought it was funny for a lot of reasons when I saw the lineup. Not the performance that happened. That was not funny. But it's this. Before we get into what happened, this is always what tonight was. Okay? Let me be clear. This is always what tonight was with that lineup. Let's see how it goes. That's what it was. It didn't matter if it went great. It didn't matter if it went like it went. When LSU lined up against Tennessee on Friday night, you were going to see Jones back at first, you were going to see Braswell at third, and you were going to see either Brown or Pearson in right field. That's how it was always going to go. Because that is your best 9. And that is what gives you the best chance to win the game. That's why I looked at the lineup and chuckled. Because it was like, this is going to lead to a lot of hot takes and a lot of people overreacting about things. And all it is it's a midweek game. Let's see what you got. Now, what you got is you'll never do it again. And it's not to say it couldn't have gone well. Of course it could have gone well. Why not? Let's see if it does. But what happened was always the most likely outcome because you had guys out of position. Jared Jones is not a third baseman. He's a first baseman. He's a damn good one. He's an elite defensive first baseman. And that's not hindsight for me. You can go back on my Twitter to the Texas series if you so care, because they tried that alignment in game number 3, and I tweeted in that moment, I can't get behind moving Jared Jones off of first base for any reason. So not hindsight. The guy's a career like 990 fielder over at third base. You had him playing out of position. Jake Brown is a better outfielder than he is first baseman. Can he play first base? Sure. But he's out of position. That led to a lot of issues, obviously, in the field. Jones committed 2 official errors, but he had a problem getting the ball out of his glove all night long. You question the arm strength a little bit over there. The first step isn't good. It's not his spot. And it was never going to be his spot long term. They were trying to see what they had. And regardless of how it went, if you could go back into the game, like before the game, it was always going to revert back to what it was come the weekend, because that is your best 9. Yes, Michael Braswell is part of your best 9. I know a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their head around that right now, but he's an elite glove over at third base, and he's hitting .324 in conference play. Did he punch out looking tonight? Yeah, he did. The game was decided. I don't really care. So I'm not even going to flip out about the lineup, because it is what it is, and it is what it was always going to be. What I'm more disappointed in is the lack of success with runners in scoring position again. And again, even if you'd have lost the game, but if you just come through in those moments, like it's not even, again, it's like the punch outs with runners at third base and less than 2 outs. That is driving me insane. Because the average with runners in scoring position is one thing. Not being able to manufacture runs with runners in scoring position is a whole nother deal. And LSU's struggling in all of that right now. No amount of lineup changes are going to change that. You know who your guys are, and you know where they fit best. It's about putting them in those spots and letting them go do it, and then figuring it out and getting some confidence back. That's all it is. No amount of lineup changes is going to just cure this. You have who you have. And at times they've been really damn good this year. And right now they're not. And again, they better do some soul searching over the next 2 days and figure out what type of team they want to be, because reality comes the next 3 weeks for you. And it will decide what type of postseason ball you are playing. And you know, I had a great show planned for tomorrow. Great show. We were going to look at, and we still are, we're going to look at LSU's positioning in the race for a top 8 national seed and all of those things. And that show is not going to be nearly as fun as it would have been had LSU been able to take care of business tonight. But the reason we'll still do that is because the result of tonight doesn't change that conversation. You know, I saw earlier in the chat just popping up, there was some talk about RPI. And I feel like we do this every year with midweek games. LSU's RPI is 12th. They're 1 spot behind Tennessee. You dropped a few spots. Okay. Go win. Go figure out what you need to do. Go be better. Go win, and you're fine. Tennessee right now with an 11 RPI is projected to be the 5th overall national seed. So LSU at 12, you're not in a bad spot. You're just not. But you better go win and figure it out. So, yeah, fire 34-49. Middle Tennessee beat Vandy today. It happens. Hey, Missouri got run ruled by Missouri State. What a dreadful, dreadful, dreadful baseball program that is. My goodness. Hey, Gotlet Light Installers, you should go there for all your exterior lighting needs. You want to illuminate your outdoor landscape, which I highly recommend that you do. You should use Gotlet lights when you do it as well. Permanent outdoor landscape lighting, Gotlet Light Installers. Front yard flower beds or backyard flower beds. Or your backyard pool area. Gotlet Light Installers. Work with Derek and his team. Great customer service. They want to get to know you. It's not just them doing the service. It's a great relationship that they build with you, the customer. They want you to be customers for life at Gotlet. Temporary outdoor lighting as well. Gotlet Light Installers. Private events, weddings, anniversaries, graduation parties, Gotlet Light Installers. GotletLights.com. Go there for all your exterior lighting needs and tell them you heard it right here on Loose with the Box. Our friend David in the chat says, imagine having a job where you can say you just need to go in and still have a job. Hey, David, imagine listening to the guy who has the job to say that and then still coming back and listening to the guy again. Stay hot, bro. Another guy, Christian, says, you know they aren't going to win. Said it twice during the show that I think Tennessee is far and away better than LSU. You know what else I think? LSU's far and away better than Northwestern State. And they lost that game. It's baseball. Crazy things happen. So, I've seen this team win 34 games so far. Go win 35, go win 36. See what you can do. Will they? I don't know. Heath, does the winner of the weekend play at home for 2 weeks? The winner of the weekend has a great chance to play at home for 2 weeks. Let me look at Tennessee's schedule. I can tell you what I think for LSU, but if you're asking me for both, Tennessee after this weekend still has a home series against Auburn and Vanderbilt and a trip to Arkansas. LSU has a trip to A&M and a home series against Arkansas. The winner of this weekend has a great chance, but they still have work to do. If LSU takes 2 out of 3 from Tennessee and then goes and drops the series at A&M and drops the home series against Arkansas, no, you're probably not playing at home for 2 weeks. You're playing at home for 1, but you're probably not playing at home for 2 weeks. This weekend is the start of figuring out where you're going to be. Again, that's why on tomorrow's show, we're going to have the whole conversation of where LSU sits, what's ahead for them and other competitors for those national seeds in the league, and all of those things. We'll talk it all out. Like I said, it's just not going to be nearly as fun as it would have been if LSU wouldn't have, gotten embarrassed on their home field tonight against Northwestern State, but they did. A-Rod says A&M is scary right now. Yeah, they are. They are. No one wants to play them. I don't envy Texas this weekend at all, especially Texas is going to be without Jared Spencer. They're Friday night ace, having to go up against that A&M line. Texas just won on the road while we got swept at home. Okay, first of all, LSU did not get swept at home. Texas won at Texas State. Okay, that's good for you. LSU won at Nichols. Who cares? I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this conversation that we're having. And I don't really think I said a bad thing about Texas at all, but okay. So, man, what a fun night. What a fun night. I'm so calm right now because it's just not worth getting upset over that game. It's just not. They didn't play even remotely close to well enough for me to be angry. Like, LSU, after that rain delay, played the worst game of the year. They played their worst game of the year after the rain delay. They didn't do anything right. They stranded runners left and right. They committed errors. They gave out 8 free passes. They allowed 13 runs to score. I mean, you got embarrassed on your home field. I'm not acting like things are cool. Did you tune in late? I'm not acting like things are cool at all. We went through everything they did wrong. I've said multiple times, you better do some soul. The next 2 days are the most important days of your season, even before you play games. Like, you better figure it out, or you're not going to like where you end up in the postseason at all. Somebody said serious question. Z-Man wants to know why I was excited to see Primo get back on the mound. Why? Because this team needs a left-handed option out of the bullpen. Desperately. Desperately. And any lefty that I see has success, I want to see more of them to see if they can develop any consistency. It's my whole thing with the bullpen in general. Anybody who has success in this bullpen, I want to see again to see if they can build consistency. Whether that's DJ Primo, whether that's Maverick Rizzi, whether it's Cooper Williams, Connor Ware, William Schmidt. Go down the list. If they're not named Zach Cowan or Casey Evans, any shred of success they have, I want to see them again because I want to see if they can build consistency and emerge. That's why. It doesn't matter who it is. If Chandler Dorsey would have shoved tonight, I'd been like, hey, let me see more of Chandler Dorsey. Just see if you can get somebody. Anthony JD, that's a really good question about the portal and players and 4 to 5 or what. That's a really in-depth question that is hard for me to answer right now. Because I think LSU, by and large, they hit. Like, they hit in the portal this year, man. Zach Cowan's a stud, right? I mean, Connor Bench has been inconsistent, but he's come up with some really big pitches for you. Danny Dickinson has been awesome. And we don't know what they have in Devin Sheeran because he got hurt. Chris Stanfield has been incredible. Like, LSU, by and large, Luis Hernandez, up until the last 2 weeks, has been awesome for you. By and large, they hit in the portal. So, I mean, again, could they focus it a little bit more? Sure, but you've seen LSU take 2 different approaches in the portal under Jay and have success with both. Where you went out and you got the All-American like Tommy White and the Power 4 guys, and man, you parlayed that into a national championship. And this time around, you went and got some mid-major guys, and right now you're 34-8 and on pace to be 20-10 in the league. Like, it's worked. It's more along the lines, they're not playing good team baseball right now at all. So, I mean, that's really my take on the portal. I mean, we can dive into that more in portal season because, I mean, it's a deeper conversation. But for right now, they've hit in the portal this year with the guys they got. I mean, that's why a large part of the reason they are where they are. They're not playing good team baseball. And that's what they have to fix the next 2 days because there ain't no going back once Friday rolls around, y'all. There just isn't. You really, really got to lock in and play the type of baseball you're capable of playing the next 3 weeks. David says, on pace to be 20-10 in the league. Man, stop. David doesn't like math, guys. It's actually math. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Until they're not on pace, which could happen this weekend, they're on pace. So, That's what we operate under because that's baseball. Why is my laptop about to die? I charged it throughout that entire game. Whatever. All right, guys, it's almost midnight. I'm ready to go to bed. Y'all smash the like button on your way out. If any of y'all, all of you who stayed up and watched the rest of that game and tuned in here tonight, I love you. Y'all are true sickos, and I appreciate the hell out of that. So smash the like button. Get subscribed if you have not already. Please share. And be here next time for more on Musso at the Box.